Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's AKingsCreation again, bringing you guys another valuable guide. Yes, it's 2025, and as promised, I am going to continue the value this entire year. So for everybody that's coming in from the holidays and are just now getting their Christmas presents or console or PC and are diving into Throne of Liberty for the first time, this guide is for you. Everybody else who is usually on the channel or playing this game, if you want to leave additional tips in the comments, please do that. All right. So in this video, we're going to go ahead and break down everything you need to know from the very beginning of playing Throne of Liberty to the middle progression and to the end. At the very end of this video, I will leave 2 video references that will provide additional end game information for you guys to understand. All right, so let's go ahead and break the video down. All right, cool. So once you log into the Throne and Liberty for the first time, you're going to have to select a server. Now, there are different types of servers. You got early access server, non-early access server, and console only server, okay? So you can pick and choose whatever based off your preference. I personally like doing early access servers because I believe in the early access server, you're allowed to get a transfer ticket. Now, I highly recommend using that transfer ticket at the very end of your journey when you feel like you need to change servers, okay? I went from Lazland to Castleton. You don't have to do the same exact thing. I'm just saying that's possible, okay? So I highly recommend starting off with an early access server and then getting into the game. Now, keep in mind also that each server has its own population. So I highly recommend looking up on the internet the service or the status of each server and defining which one will be best for you. So the next step for you will be to go through the tutorial. During the tutorial, it would actually teach you the mechanics of the game. Also, you will be able to select your class. Now, don't worry too much if you want to test out like the different weapon combinations, see which 2 weapon combinations will fit your playstyle, because later down the road, you're able to change it over time. And I will be breaking down where you can get those additional changes if you complete the tutorial. Okay, so in the tutorial, you're going to be asked to select your class, or aka what weapons you want to use. All right, so try out different weapons to find the one that best fits your playstyle. Okay, and also, like I said, keep in mind you're able to change this down the road. All right, the next step after the tutorial is over, which everybody will do, is go into the open world, or the main game of Throne of Liberty. Now, the main steps you have to take is doing the storyline, the main quest line. Okay, prioritize the main story quests. They provide significant experience and introduce you to the core gameplay mechanics. So as you guys can see here, here's the actual storyline, and each chapter has its own quest inside of them. There's quest trees. You can see exactly what the rewards will be after you complete them. And also you can read the description of each story. Okay, so once you're done with all of this, we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so as you guys can see, we're in Castleton, where most of you guys will be when you enter the open world. I am over here by Zimmer. Okay, Zimmer is the weapon or equipment merchant. This is where you can change your weapons out if you so choose, and also you can buy them. And you see this little book here with a little X over it. That's your lithograph book. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and purchase this real quick so I can explain that. But what you want to do is, I'm not sure how many of these I have. I'm just gonna buy 2 just in case, but keep in mind that you can buy gear here as well if you want to go ahead and fully upgrade your gear in the beginning. Even though this is great, if you have all the gear, that's all that matters, right? So we're gonna go ahead and talk about the lithograph real quick because apparently I didn't do this. So with the lithograph, as you guys can see, I bought one of the weapons, right? So what I would do is I would add that weapon to the lithograph book, and then it would go ahead and add it, and then I'll be able to claim the rewards. Each of the different tiers of weapons and items have different rewards to them. Okay, as you guys can see, this goes from gray to purple. I got some purple gears, that's why it's up here first. As you can see, this is the purple section. These are the blue section where you can get different rewards, and in green, where most of you guys will be going from the gray to green. That'll be your next step, and then from there, like I said, you would go to the blue. That'll be your next step, and then purple, right? So the gray one is where you can buy some of these from the vendors, and then most of the rest will be from like drop like that. I just want to explain that real quick so you guys can understand what the lithograph book does, right? Okay, speaking of armor, let's go ahead and talk about something that will happen once you reach green tier armor or weapons. Okay, now you're going to be able to level them up. Okay, also you'll be able to use their traits. Let me go ahead and explain further. As you guys can see, quality armor growth stones. Growth stones are used to upgrade armor, okay, or weapons, right? So you want to go ahead, and as you progress through the storyline, you're going to end up getting growth stones anyway, because that's just how the game is working. All right, so you'll end up seeing growth stones, and you'll end up upgrading armor over time. My best tip for the armor and weapons part is to go from the gray straight to blue. Do not even worry about the green. The green will probably only be used for the lithograph books, which we explained earlier. Okay, but I just wanted to go ahead and show you that this is the material that you would need to upgrade green tier. Now, blue tier will have blue growth stones, purple tier will have purple growth stones, okay? And let's go ahead and go to the transfer section real quick. Yeah, let me go ahead and explain transfer. So with transfer selection, say for example, you have two of the same green pieces, right? And say you upgraded one to level 9 and you got a better green version of your, or that better synergizes with your build. What you're going to need to do is take that green version, and then if you have another one in here, you will be able to transfer that level 9, and then that will be a level 9. Does that make sense? Let me know in the comments if it doesn't. All right, so from there, that's what transfer means. Now for the traits, for example, I'm just going to go ahead and select one of my weapons. All right, so for the traits, as you guys can see, I have hit chance, heavy attack chance, critical hit chance. Now in order to upgrade traits, you're going to need to get something similar to the weapon that I have. So if you go ahead and hover over to this section right here, it will show you all of the weapons that you can use to upgrade your trait on this specific weapon that I have here. As you guys can see, it'll show you the green tier, and it'll show you the blue tier, all right, and it'll show you the purple tier. All these weapons can be used, and I can transfer the traits off of these weapons to upgrade this trait from 1 to 4 out of 4. Okay, now keep in mind, guys, if you do have a purple one, it'll automatically upgrade this from 1 to 2. All right, because why? It's purple tier. All right, purple tier automatically upgrades your tier, your trait tier by 1. Now anything below purple, the blue tier, for example, blue tiers will give you a chance at going from 1 to 2 with the leveling. Okay, why? That's just the way the game works. Okay, now say for example it fails. Okay, now let me show you something here. You see how it says blessing? Now it'll show you the description of blessing and what it does. Okay, say for example I have 5 of the blue weapons that have the same trait as hit chance. Okay, if I use those weapons and I fail at all 5 of them, I will end up getting blessing. Blessing is basically another way of increasing the next upgrade or chance for it to upgrade. So the more blessing I have, the higher chance I can use. You see this one at the bottom, it says use blessing. I can use blessing to guarantee the upgrade from, say for example, 1 to 2. All right, like I said, if that doesn't make sense, I can explain it further, or I actually have a whole video on this specifically so you guys can actually see me do it. I'm just explaining it for all the new players, and if you have any questions, leave it in the comments. I will gladly answer it for you. Okay, so that is what weapon upgrading and armor upgrading does in this game. Now, early on in the game, I'm going to give you a quick tip, okay? Don't sell any of the armor pieces or weapon pieces you get. Not early on in the game. There's no need to sell it, because later down the road, you're probably just going to need the material from dissolving them. And what do you mean? What do I mean by dissolving? If you go down to your bar here, it says dissolve. For example, I'm just going to look at something here. I can dissolve it to get magic powder. I end up getting a lot of magic powder because I grind a lot, and I end up getting a lot of random junk, especially weapons and armor, right? So I usually dissolve it and I end up getting magic powder from this. Okay, I will be explaining crafting. We got to know basic crafting in this game, but we will be talking about that shortly. I just want to make this clear. I want to give you guys a tip in the very beginning. As you progress through the entire story and reach level 50, do not sell any of your weapons and armors to any of the vendors. Just save it. Either use it for dissolving to get more resources you need later down the road, or use it for lucent, which I'll explain also. All right, so let's talk about crafting in this game. All right, let's learn the basics of crafting. So as you guys can see, there are different tabs for crafting. You got weapons, armor, accessory, miscellaneous, skills, and favorites. Okay, favorites is just whatever you select as a favorite. All right, so let's talk about the weapons, for example. Each weapon can be crafted. Now it obviously shows you the crafting materials that are required for each one. So if you go ahead and select this one for right there, right? and then you scroll down, you see that it has a crafting materials box. If you hit square, if you're on console, it shows you how many you can craft depending on how much materials you have. Okay, so that's what I was saying before. Look at that magic powder. See, magic powder is also used to craft weapons and armor. Okay, so I just want to showcase to you, if you ever wonder what do you need to craft a certain weapon or certain armor or certain accessories, this is the menu for you. Now let's go ahead and look at some other things, for example. All right. Now, as you play the game, I actually have so many other guides. I can't explain everything because this video will be an hour long. But I just want to go ahead and express that when you play the game, open world dungeons, co-op dungeons, stuff like that, you end up getting resources along the way. With those resources, you can buy selection chests. With those selection chests, you're able to unlock or select certain weapons or armor pieces you want. All right, so keep that in mind. Skills also are required. You need skills, or you need materials to craft skill books. Skill books are used to upgrade your skills. I'm gonna go ahead and explain that real quick. If you go to your skills, okay, as you progress through the game from beginning to end, you will be upgrading your skills. All right, so you want to be specific on what skills you upgrade, because skill books at the very end of your journey are extremely expensive, especially the fives or the purple fives or going to purple five, right? You will see exactly what I mean as you upgrade. Okay, all right, so understand that material is used for a lot of things in this game, so you gotta be specific. You don't want to just waste material. Okay, now skill specializations. Each skill has a specialization you can select depending on what type of build you're trying to create. All right, so let's keep that in mind as well. Okay, this is the perfect time to tell you guys the truth. This definitely is a pay to win game. Okay, remember what I was talking about, those weapons where you can craft them? Well, a lot of people, especially like me, sometimes I like to skip certain things. Now, I didn't skip the entire process. I did go free to play all the way until I hit my guild or I hit 3000 CP. After that, I didn't waste no time. I spent about around $200 or so, right? Point is, I want to go ahead and say that a lot of people start to pay to win. Okay, so for example, you see how some of these weapons and items have lucent. You see how it's like 3900 lucent for this one, for example. Okay, now check this out. If I go to the shop at the very bottom, you guys can see how much I can get for 6000 lucent. Okay, so about $100 for 6000 lucent. Most people would either buy the bundle so they can get some accessories with it, you know what I'm saying, even a Emma toy or a morph, which I'll explain also so you guys can understand that. And they would use that lucent that they get from that, and they would buy what I said, weapons and armor. So a lot of people skip that process of actually crafting some of the stuff, and you can even do this with accessories, you know, armors. And also keep this in mind, you can also do it with resources as well. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of funny how it works out, but that's why this game is a pay to win. Now, free to play players can catch up, definitely, but you do have to grind a lot, and that is the truth. But trust me, guys, I've done it, and you can do it too, and it's still fun to this day. I have 800 hours into this game. Okay, so all right, since I mentioned Emma toys and Morris, I might as well go ahead and talk about it. Emma toys are little pets that run around with you, and they also have different features. As you guys can see, an Emma toy can instantly restore health. Now, a lot of people are wondering in the beginning of the game, does this game have health potions? I've been asked that actually when I was playing, when I was a beginner. Does this game have health potions? Yes, it does. As you guys can see in the bottom left of my screen, I have health potions here. But not only that, you're going to need to buy world tree leaves. World tree leaves, when you have them and you have them equipped, they give you health over time. Say if your health bar goes down, you're able to get more health, and they just automatically come out of your inventory. So you want to go ahead and buy as much as possible. Now, where do you buy them from? If you head over here to Scott, because this is Castleton, this is where everybody will start off. If you head over here to Scott, which is a Sundries merchant, or you can go to any Sundries merchant in any town, you're able to buy world tree leaves for about 20 solent. All right, so you want to buy as much of these as possible, and because what it does, like I said, is it will heal you over time as your health bar goes down. Okay, and also you can start off with some recovery crystals, aka health potions, as well. Okay, now Stellarite is also used to get additional weapon damage bonus as you progress through the game. You kind of want to save this for later because it's kind of expensive, but later down the road you're going to need, this is a gray one, so a lot of people use the gray one for just like open world fighting and stuff like that, but for PvP you're going to need the green one, which gives you 15% weapon damage. So I just want to explain that as well. All right, so back to the amatoys. Okay, so as you progress through the game and you acquire more and more amatoys, you actually level up your efficiency. What do I mean by efficiency? For example, if you go to your amatoy expedition, you will know about this when you progress through the game because there's actually a mission where you have to do an amatoy expedition. All right, so with these amatoy expeditions, as you get more and more expeditions, we'll go to the expedition map real quick. You're able to use amatoys to acquire more of the resources, and you get more experience with more you have. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now let's go ahead and explain the morphs. For the morphs, it's kind of the same difference as well. You level up your morphs by acquiring more morphs. This goes for your dash, glide, and swim. Okay, so each one comes with more or different morphs that you can acquire through different completions. Like for example, you get rank 1 in like an open world event, then you'll be able to unlock a morph. This one particularly is through trials. If you get high enough in your trial rank, you'll be able to unlock this as well, or you can get it through arena. You can also buy these morphs through the shops as well. See, as you guys can see here, here's some amatoys here. Here are some morphs. Here's a swim morph, and then here's the dash morph. Okay, so you can also acquire these through Lucent, or you can pay for it, like I said before, when a lot of people would do pay to win. You see what I'm saying? So that is how you get amatoys and what they do. All right, so to wrap up the video, we got to understand what type of game modes are in this game. Like what will interest you in a daily excitement for this game. Okay, so first things first, we got to talk about the world events. World events in this game have timers, aka a schedule. So when you look at the time, they are in military time. I hope you understand what military time is. Let's go ahead and talk about it. For example, if you talk about 24 hours in a day, say for example this says 23, well, what's 24 hours in a day? That's 12 a.m. So this will be 11 p.m. All right, so this will be 11 p.m. and then so on so on. So if it has 00, that will be 12 a.m. because that will be a complete 24 hours. I hope that makes sense. If you don't know what military time is, please look it up, but that's what this is in. All right, now as you guys can see, there are world bosses. World bosses have to be accessed because you need to go ahead and fight them to get world boss weapons. So this will save you a whole bunch of time and Lucent and crafting extremely difficult materials to actually craft the weapons and armor pieces from these bosses. So it's just best that you always try to make these. Okay, all right, so that is one type of game mode, or quote unquote different activities within open world that you should do simultaneously. Now next up you got co-op dungeons. Now this is where you can random match make, or you can create your own party board, or you can, you know, access or join somebody else's party board, where you see it says join, or like I said, post a recruitment ad is posting your own party, right, for specific dungeons. Or you can just do party matchmaking, and it will be a random matchmaking for each of these dungeons. Okay, and it goes all the way down, and you can select what type of role you are. Okay, then you got, which is just included, is the trials, dimensional trials, right? So these are what you would use to acquire runes. Runes are synergies that add additional bonus stats to your build. Okay, next up you got your secret dungeons. Now secret dungeons are used to acquire additional resources. I highly recommend doing this after you hit level 50. That way you can acquire all these rewards, and like I said, they come with growth stones, and we already talked about growth stones, and they come with more healing potions, which we also talked about as well, and some of them give you amatoys and morphs. Then you got the speed running section. Okay, now the speed running game mode is it allows you to get additional resources, rewards from completing specific bosses within a certain time. And if you get like top 20, you're able to get like additional solent and also an emote. All right, next up you got PvP. You got the little event that's going on right now. You got that 6v6, you got the 3v3, team 3v3, and then the friendly TV. This is basically a custom matchmaking, okay? Not each of them, but the arena comes with a weekly objective. So you got to get like 10 wins to claim arena coins. And arena coins can be used to purchase arena gear, precious pouches, and so on and so on. Now you got war games. War games is for guilds. I meant to tell you guys, you got to join a guild. How do you join guilds? Well, if you go to the guild section under the community tab, I'm already in one, so this doesn't really count. But you can search up guilds, and then you can try to request to join them. All right, there's different guilds. Now be careful which guilds you select. There have been going around where there's guilds that have scams where they would basically, for example, if you do those world boss events, right, and you get a world boss drop, it would automatically go to your guild, and the guild leaders or advisors would have to give it to you in order for you to actually receive it. But sometimes these guild advisors or guild leaders don't give it to you at all and keep it for themselves. So you see that type of scam actually exists. So you got to be careful what guilds you join. If you are looking for a guild, Merc is the guild I am in currently, which is in Castleton. Keep in mind, if you want to join my guild, you have to be on Castleton server. It's Mercs right now, but we are hardcore PvP and PvE. So you kind of got to be above, it says 2,800 right now. We're probably going to say we're pushing it up to 3,500. You got to probably be above 3,500 to get in. So that's just that, right? So I pretty much covered all of the game modes in this game. I guess I got to talk about the weekly. Make sure as you progress through the game, you do these weeklies, okay? All these weeklies come with different requirements. I have different guides on the channel. Make sure you check out my entire channel so you guys can understand the information I provide for you, and you should be able to get a complete understanding of this game if you watch all of my guides on my channel, right? And then finally, let's talk about fishing and cooking. Fishing and cooking in this game are very essential. I would highly recommend watching my fishing guide video on how to fish in this game and where to get these fishes. Then finally, you got the cooking recipes. I also explain how to cook in this game. Make sure you guys check out my cooking guide. But these cooking guides, these different meals can provide you different buffs, okay? So I hope this video helped you out. It's about 20 minutes long, but I pretty much covered every basics in this game so you can get started from all the way from level 1 to 50 and what you need to understand towards the end game, what you need to do, like fishing, cooking, different world bosses, different events, all the game modes in the game you got to acquire, and to get those weekly achievements done so you can get more resources. I have all those videos on a guide, and like I said, I will be providing 2 videos of reference for the end game. I have a level 50 after level 50 video for you guys to look at so you guys can understand what to do after level 50. And also I have the 5 mistakes as a solo player video for you guys to watch so you guys don't make any mistakes after level 50 as well. If you guys enjoyed this guide, or the complete guide for a beginner completely not knowing what to do in this game, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, because I got more value, especially those who have been waiting for PvP content. I got that coming soon, so stay tuned. See you guys later. Peace. People are wondering if I live stream. Yes, I only live stream for my members. Hey everyone, thank you for watching my video. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel, make sure you guys check my membership tab. I have supporter, big supporter, and huge supporter. Each tier comes with more benefits. So if you guys are interested, make sure you check it out. How do you access it? You can go to my about page if you're on the desktop and just scroll all the way down to memberships, join now, or you can check the description of each video. Thank you.